Why are we so obsessed with filming locations from the 80s?
That's what we're talking about today on Our 80s Life podcast.
Hey guys, I'm Abby.
And I'm Keith.
Welcome to Our 80s Life podcast. So Keith and I make a lot of videos. We've got hundreds of videos on our YouTube channel, but filming locations are by far the hardest and most complicated ones to make. So why do we do it?
Because we crazy.
I knew you were going to say that. Partly because we're crazy.
And we love it.
And also we love it. And also we want to document these places from some of our favorite movies and TV shows of the 80s.
That's right. They're quickly disappearing. Time is our enemy, so it's time to document it when we can.
Yeah. And it's really cool to step into these places. It's like you're walking into the set of your favorite TV show or movie. Truly, if you ever get a chance to visit a filming location from a show that you like, you should totally do it. It's kind of magical.
It's kind of surreal. It's like, hey, some of our favorite actors or actresses stood right here.
Yeah. And you've watched those scenes lots of times, and then just to be sort of in that place, even though it's a different time, it's still really cool. So we have lots of reasons why we do it. Well, recently we just celebrated Thanksgiving, and Keith's family all lives in the Corpus Christi, Texas area. So we went there for Thanksgiving, and whenever we go on any trips, we're always like, what was filmed in this place in the 80s? The Legend of Billie Jean from 1985, and it was filmed in Corpus Christi.
It's definitely a cult classic.
I don't think it did super great in the box office back in the 80s, but has since become a lot more popular, I think.
That's right. And this has been on our radar for a while now. I think the last few years we've been there, we're like, man, we really need to film this.
Yeah, that's true.
And we finally did.
We finally did. A few weeks before we went on our trip, we, of course, watched the movie several times. And we reached out to his cousin who helped us find a lot of the places.
I had seen bits and pieces of it, but I don't think I ever had watched the whole thing through until recently.
Which is surprising because there's a good chance you were like in Corpus for part of the filming because you spent most of your summers there.
Yeah, but at that time I was 12 years old. So
it's kind of like people asking me, did I see them filming Dallas back in the day? And I can't believe I never did because they were all around us. But no, I never saw it actually being filmed.
Yeah, but rewatching it, it was really good.
It was so good.
So if you haven't watched it, you should.
And if you haven't watched our video yet, it's one of our more recent videos on our channel. Be sure and watch that after you're finished with this one.
That's right. You definitely need to do that.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time working on that video, finding the locations, and then it's probably about a 12-hour edit for me once we get home from these kind of trips. So lots of work, but man, I'm really pleased with that video. I think it turned out just super great. I love it. So on our channel, we have 21 videos in a TV and movie filming locations playlist. Most of them are 80s, all but I think one are 80s movies. What is your favorite one of all the videos that we've done or all the locations that we've visited?
Well, ironically, the one that was not from the 80s is actually my favorite.
It might be mine too, actually.
All right, so we took a little road trip up to Preston, Idaho.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even just a road trip. Like, you have to intentionally go to Preston.
And we saw some flippin' sweet filming locations in Preston for Napoleon Dynamite.
We did. And even though it's not filmed in the 80s, there are so many, like, countless 80s references in that movie. The first time I ever saw it, I was like, is this supposed to be in the 80s? I love that movie. It's our favorite movie. So
I'd ask you the same question. What have been your favorite filming location videos?
That one is high up there. I absolutely loved that day. We even played a round of bowling at Pop and Pins.
You got to go bowl.
Right. So we were like the only ones in the bowling alley. That was such a fun day. But, I think the ones from Dallas really hold a special place in my heart because Dallas is my hometown. And I'm just loving that project, even though it's kind of a pain.
I'd say a close second for me is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that we filmed in Phoenix, Arizona.
That was fun.
I mean, to get to go to the Circle K
Yes.
It was really cool.
Which I think is closed now.
It is.
And
That's
also,
sad.
And the mall from that movie is closed now. We went there the week it was closing. Like, it was days before it closed. On accident, we were there the last week it was open.
Hey, every once in a while, dumb luck, plays in our favor. So
yeah, we got so lucky on that one. And I think we ended up making 2 videos. We made one of Bill and Ted, and then we made one just about the mall.
I probably would have put Dallas on top of my list, but to me, the Dallas ones are so stressful.
They've gotten stressful.
Because there's so many locations we have to hit for each season, and we've gotten better as we've done more seasons of Dallas.
If you think about it, with a movie, it's probably like an hour and a half or 2 hours. There's probably going to be about a dozen or so locations to visit. But with Dallas, you're talking about an hour per episode, and each season has maybe 10 or 12 episodes that are filmed in Dallas, because we're only doing the Dallas ones, not the California locations
Yet.
Because they did. So the way
that's called retirement.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with those, the way they filmed each season was about 8 to 10, sometimes as many as 12 episodes. The first half of the season would be filmed over the summer in the city of Dallas and surrounding area, and then the second half of the season would be filmed back in California. So yeah, we're just doing the Dallas ones. But that's so many more. So we had to divide it up into seasons. And season 2 had so many, we had to clip that into 2 separate videos because the video was getting really long.
And we were so crazy. The very first time we did Dallas filming locations, we did 3 seasons in one weekend.
I don't know how we did that.
I don't either.
And RoboCop.
Oh, yeah, we did RoboCop that same weekend, too.
We did. Yeah.
Man, we were crazy.
We were crazy. Speaking of RoboCop is our number 1 filming location video as far as YouTube performance. It's our top video.
That one was really fun, too.
That one was really fun. A lot of cool locations for that one. And it was just neat because it was in my hometown. And that's a huge blockbuster movie that was filmed there. Now, how about RoboCop 2? Now, first we should say all 3 RoboCop movies supposedly take place in Detroit, like dystopian future Detroit. But none of them were filmed in Detroit. Part 1 was filmed in Dallas. Where was Part 2 filmed?
Houston,
and we went there and did that one as well.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed doing Part 2 more than Part 1.
That one was super fun because we were tourists. First of all, we were on vacation, so we were seeing a lot of cool stuff around Houston.
Yeah, I think that was the difference because, like, with the first RoboCop, being from Dallas,
it was like, oh, there's City Hall.
It's like we'd been to a lot of those places before. Yeah. We didn't realize that they were in RoboCop at the time, but, okay, I've been there. But in Houston, we went to a bunch of places we never gone before.
Yeah, Houston was really a fun one to do.
It was fun, but man, some of the places were not in the nicest areas of town.
That's true.
And it was a little scary a couple times.
Yeah, it did. And at one point, a train was coming, and we thought we were going to get stuck on one side of the train track, and our car was on the other side. So we were like, run. But my favorite part about that one was when we went to that coffee shop, and it had been in the movie on the screen, and they didn't know about it. So all the workers that worked there got very excited, and we showed them pictures, and we're like, did you know your coffee shop was in RoboCop? And they had no clue. That was really fun. And then I got a really delicious coffee.
Now, that reminds me of a little trip to Crum, Texas.
Yes, that is probably my number 1 favorite location we've ever done because we got to blow someone's mind that day.
Yeah, we were actually in Landau, Louisiana.
Okay, so, yeah, I can't even remember what season it is of Dallas. They all are blending together, but in this one season, they were supposed to be dove hunting. That's
the episode, the dove hunt.
It's called the dove hunt. It's Keith's favorite episode of Dallas.
That episode.
If you're only going to watch one, maybe just watch that. It could stand alone. So anyway, they're supposed to be in Louisiana on a dove hunt, but they actually filmed it in Crum, Texas, which is this small little town. It's probably like 45 minutes to an hour from Dallas. So we go there, and in one of the scenes, in one of the best scenes, the Ewing boys get into a bar fight, a brawl.
Well, most of the Ewing boys do.
Except JR is hiding behind the table.
JR is hiding behind the table.
But anyways, so we're like, Well, that building is still there where the bar was. Let's see what it is. Oh, it's a hair salon now called Lisa Marie's Salon Saloon. Okay. So we walk in Lisa Marie's, and she didn't have any customers, which was great. So we got a chance to talk to her that day. And we're like, hey, did you know that your salon was used in Dallas? And she had no clue, but she was a fan of the show. And she's like, I don't know how I didn't know that. I even have some JR beer cans on display. She knew it was an old saloon. So that's why she left the bar set up, and she decorated accordingly. Her place is adorable, by the way. If you're ever in Crum and you need a haircut.
Go on Wednesday.
She has wet Wednesdays, by the way, free drinks. But anyway, cute lady. But we blew her mind, showed her the video of the entire scene, totally filmed in what is now her salon. And she's like, I can't wait to tell all my friends about this. Like, she was pumped. And that was really fun.
I think one of my other favorite filming location videos we did was The Outsiders.
Oh, that was fun. Because we had our friend Michael with us.
That's about to say, usually it's you and I.
Uh-huh.
But in that one, we had a third wheel. Which was, and he really wasn't a third wheel, but it was really fun to have a guest along with us to, one, help us find the locations and also be in the video. And also I did one of my most famous reenactments in that video.
You did.
That's right.
The death scene, the Dallas death scene.
The Dallas death scene. It is Academy Award worthy for sure.
Right.
Go check it out.
So big thanks to our friend Michael for helping us with that one. He's actually a docent volunteer over at the Outsiders House Museum. And not only did he show us all those locations, but he also the next day we went to the museum and he got us an introduction to Danny Boy O'Connor, and we got to interview him and learn all about the house and the museum. And it was just totally awesome.
And Danny Boy, it was really cool to meet him. I was a little starstruck.
He's super tall.
The dude is so tall.
He's so huge.
And next to Abby.
It was hysterical.
Abby looks like a munchkin from The Wizard of Oz.
I was like, how are we going to get us both in the shot here? But it was so great talking to him. He is such a cool guy. And then to top it all off, we got to do something really cool where we watched the movie out on the lawn of the actual house where it was filmed. So, oh my gosh. That was quite a weekend.
It was.
It was super hot, though. I mean, hot. But it was so much fun. So when we started the Dallas project, we had only done a few other filming locations videos, and they were just mostly movies, I think. I don't think we knew what we were getting ourselves into, honestly.
No, we didn't. And, you think about it like, oh, we'll do a season or two. Well, then you're like, okay, we got to do the next season. And next thing you know, it's like, we're 10 seasons in.
We are. And we're the only ones that are doing it. So now we feel compelled to finish the project. I mean, shoot, we got a chance to meet some of the stars from Dallas, and they've been watching our videos too, which was totally mind-blowing, by the way. Steve Kennelly wrote us the nicest note and encouraged us and thanked us for doing the project and said he thought it was just one of the most, I think he used the word wholesome, wholesome things he'd seen. So that was just so sweet. So we are definitely on a mission to finish out the Dallas videos of the seasons that were filmed in Dallas. And we just wrapped season 10. We just filmed it while we were down in Texas. So that will be coming soon. I've got a lot of editing ahead of me, but it was a fun one.
It was.
It rained. It was the first time it's ever rained on us when we were filming there.
Yeah, that added a little complexity to the project.
Yeah, but not too bad. Oh, and then we also had to contend with the overzealous yard blower guy.
Oh, yeah.
The leaf blower guy. It never fails at the locations. There's always some loud thing that we have to compete with. And as we walked out of the art museum today, what was going on at the art museum?
We have an overzealous leaf blower.
This guy's been blowing leaves for like half an hour. We're just trying to get our shot.
Like we want a 1 minute shot, and we've been waiting here for like a long time.
Welcome to our world, guys.
That was a lesson in patience for sure.
We have this thing that happens, and I should probably do a bloopers reel because whenever we're filming, it never fails. You can go up to a location, it can be totally empty, and then there will be some kind of obstacle. Someone will pull up next to us. somebody will make a loud noise. In Corpus, there was this really loud bird up in a tree above us that was like, as soon as Keith would open his mouth, it'd be like, caw.
Billie Jean, Lloyd, and Billie Jean, Binks, and Lloyd end up at the Corpus Christi.
And we just were laughing because we're like, this is ridiculous. But at the Dallas Art Museum, we were outside trying to just film the intro to the museum. And this guy was blowing leaves and he was into it. And every time we would talk, we'd think he was finished. And then you'd hear this, and it would start back up again.
He took his job very seriously. Or either he was getting paid by the hour.
And it was starting to rain. And we were like, oh my goodness. But we did finally get it done. So that will be coming soon. So all of you Dallas people, a lot of y'all have been asking me, when's season 10 coming out? We're working on it. It's going to be coming soon. So stay tuned.
So Abby, you mentioned that we've met some of the stars from Dallas, and we've also met Cherie Wilson. So yes. Cherie lives in the Dallas area. So a pipe dream of mine is, now that we're into her seasons, that maybe, just maybe, she would join us.
That would be so fun. Cherie, if you're watching, call me. Jinx. Yeah, she was really nice. I bet she probably would join us, but we haven't had the courage to ask.
So we're asking now.
We haven't had any actual stars from any of these shows join us.
But how cool would that be if one did? And she seems like she would be game for that.
She seems like she would. She would be a good sport, I think.
All right, let's make it happen.
Okay. Sometimes I wish that we had the stars with us so we could ask them where these places are, because they're sometimes really hard to find. And we've had to get some experts over the time that have helped us. We've had friends like Dallas Fanzine has helped us with a lot of the Dallas places, or else he's connected with people who know. We've had help from Facebook groups like the Dallas History Facebook group. Our friend Michael, who we mentioned, helped us.
My cousin Shane.
Your cousin Shane helped us with the most recent one. And then we also did this really fun one in Austin where it was, actually we've done 2 music video locations. Those are really fun because they're a little easier. They're not so many locations. We did Rock the Casbah by The Clash, great 80s song, and it was filmed in and around Austin. And we were able to get a little help with that one from some of the stars from the actual music video.
That's right. We actually had help on that one from the Sheik and the Rabbi.
It sounds like you're about to tell a joke. A rabbi and a sheik.
They walk into a bar.
Yeah, right. That's kind of how it goes. There was a rabbi and a sheik in the video. If you don't remember, go back and watch it when you're done here. And they kind of are running all through Austin. And Keith found him. The sheik especially was helpful.
Yeah.
Through Reddit?
No, I think it was actually Facebook.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was a Reddit thing.
I messaged both of them on Facebook, and the sheik got back to me right away.
The sheik.
It took a while for the rabbi to get back to me, but really with both of them, the conversation was, where's the pump jack?
Okay, yeah. So that leads into my next question. What are some locations that didn't get found? The one that got away. There's a couple of them.
The biggest one that got away was the pump jack that the Clash is just standing in front of and jamming to Rock the Casbah.
So wait, if you guys aren't from Texas, you might not know what a pump jack is. So let's explain what that is. You think of an oil well, an oil derrick. The thing that pumps up and down is called the pump jack.
Yeah, it's the thing that extracts the oil out of the ground.
Okay.
Once they're done drilling.
And we did find out something from that filming location, even though we didn't find the actual one. Those things are stinky. It smelled so bad around those oil thingies.
See, I like that smell.
I think it smells so bad. How did that one get away? I mean, Keith, y'all, he spent hours. He had the sheik over there trying to help. He had another friend.
I found another guy that was on part of the production crew, and he was really helpful, and he kind of told me what he thought was the general area. But man, it's when you're trying to find locations like that, you're looking at anything in the background that might be a clue to where it was located, and there's a radio tower behind it, and so I'm trying to find this radio tower and just using Google Earth and trying to find it. But problem is with pump jacks, I mean, they come and they go.
Right, when the oil dries up, they might move on to someplace else, and that thing's gone.
Yeah.
So we couldn't find it.
So the only way we were going to find that one is if someone that was there for filming knew where it was and could really pinpoint the area. That was the only way we were going to find that one. And I was hopeful at times because we know we found enough people, but everyone's story is a little different and their recollection of where it was a little different.
And it was the 80s.
Yeah, it was the 80s.
So it's been forever. And they were like kind of drinking beer and stuff all day during the filming. And so people's recollection might be a little blurry.
Yeah, I'm sure they were having a good time.
They said it was a really fun shoot. But yeah, we didn't find that. But we found all the other places from that day.
Yeah, it's still a great video, but would have really liked to have found that location. And so maybe one of these days, maybe one of these days someone will come forward that knows where it's at and we can solve that mystery.
I mean, that would be nice.
I'm holding out hope.
Okay, if anybody hears that knows, let us know.
All right, so there's one other location that took us a very long time to find.
I think I know the one you're thinking of. Is it Bobby's grave?
Oh, there's two.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Bobby's grave.
Okay, yeah, Bobby's grave was a big one as well.
Because that's a recent one. So that was from the season where Bobby died on Dallas before the dream season when he comes back after. Okay, so end of season 8 and then season 9, the dream season, they bury Bobby. There's a fake grave. Man, that one bugged us.
Yeah. I will have to give a shout out to Definitive Dallas because he posted a picture. We knew generally where it was at, kind of in the McKinney area, but we didn't know exactly where it was at. But he posted a picture that I never had seen before.
It was like an aerial photo of the property because it was on private property.
And after I saw that picture, it took me about 10 minutes to find it.
Yes, that was a huge help because you could look and find like the little water features and like what shape the water was. And then Google Map is a huge help because you can scooch out on that and look at the water and it was like shaped a certain way. But we did know it was two people that helped us because Dallas Fanzine told us it was in McKinney, which Dallas is huge. So, any of these places, it could have been anywhere. But it was in McKinney. It was on private property. So we took our drone and flew over the property, which is now in the process of getting turned into, it's like the backside of some apartments, and we think that it's going to be like nature trail.
So we're hoping that gets opened up here shortly so we can actually walk the property.
I know. I am so excited. I drove by there not too long ago when I was in Dallas for that elementary school reunion. I drove by and sent a picture to Keith and was like, making progress. So the apartments are taking shape. They even had an office that was open, but I was too shy to go in there by myself. Plus, I was kind of worried because it was a construction zone and I didn't want to get like a
flat tire
or anything. So I didn't drive up in there, but it is getting close. And I feel like once the apartments are open, then they'll probably have, it looked like they were pouring concrete for like a walking trail. So fingers crossed, we might get to visit Bobby's gravesite.
Hey, maybe we need to bring a fake headstone down there.
Somebody needs to commemorate that thing.
We need to put Bobby's grave back in its rightful place.
His dream grave.
That's right. All right, so there's one other location that I was thinking about that is probably in our top 3 of hardest locations to find. So that location, ironically, is U2's video. I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
Keith barely did not find what he was looking for.
I almost didn't. So at in the opening scene of the video, they're in this mystery alley. Mm-hmm. And we knew it was somewhere probably close to Fremont Street because that whole video is pretty much on Fremont Street.
Yes.
But could not find it, and we finally found it.
Keith found it. He persevered. Everything... Part of the problem is everything changes so dramatically, especially in a place like Vegas. And then it was at night. That part, I think, is kind of like black and white or something, and then it turns to color. It was just hard to find.
Yeah, and the definition of the video is not great. But, if you're trying to do these type of videos and you're trying to find these locations, your best friend is to look for what's behind the place you're looking for. Because if you can find landmarks behind you or if there's something behind you, then you might be able to find it. And that's what we did with that one. We found a building behind it, and it had some unusual windows on it, and we were finally able to line it up. Other than that, you would never found it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, in the city like that, it's easier because there are landmarks, or sometimes you see a water tower. Those are really helpful. Something unique that there aren't that many of, But the ones in the country, like the Bobby's grave thing, Like, what was the other one? Oh, the tractor scene from Footloose.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
It's out in the country. That's what we call one that got away because we could not pin that down for sure. We had some people that told us where it was, and we went out there. And
we were close.
Yeah, but we weren't convinced we weren't in the exact right place.
Right.
I think it might have been on private property because we just couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But it's just in the country. And if you're out in the country and all you've got to go by are some trees or maybe some water or like a ditch or something, it's like almost impossible.
Footloose was another fun video we did. And thanks to our non-paid manager, Michael Felwalk.
Michael, yeah, because he found out we were in Utah and he's like, you guys are so close to where they filmed Footloose. You should totally go and do that. And we were at a conference for YouTube and we skipped part of the day. We're like, what, should we do it? Should we do it? We'll have to skip some classes. We totally did it. It was worth it.
But Michael's great. Michael will find out where we're at and he'll go, hey, did you know this was there or this was there? Like, yeah, no, we need to go do that.
And
so
often it's like really obscure things too. You're like, how did he even know that?
Yeah.
That one was fun. So that one's actually in 3 different towns, and I had to write them down because I was going to forget them. So it was Payson, American Fork, and Lehigh, all in Utah. And so Payson was where the high school was and like the gas station, all that. American Fork was where that amazing church was, which we kind of snuck in because they were having choir practice. And then Lehigh is where that really cool mill is, where he works, remember?
Yeah, that was really cool. And then
you can go in there.
They have a gift shop.
Yeah, they have a gift shop. So if you're ever in Lehigh, go in the gift shop. It was actually a really cute little place. We bought souvenirs for people. It was fun. So while we were in Las Vegas and we filmed the U2 video, we also did a couple of other ones. When you think about it, a lot of movies and TV shows are actually filmed in Las Vegas. It gets a lot of screen time.
That's right. One of the classic movies that was filmed there was Vegas Vacation.
Classic.
One of Abby's favorites.
No, one of my least favorites, but Keith loves that movie, even though it's so ridiculous. But that one was a fun video. We actually stayed at the Mirage, which is where the family stayed during that movie. So that was fun.
That's great. Yeah.
And it looked, so it's getting ready to be totally redone. It's not going to be the Mirage anymore. But at the time, it looked very much like it still looked in the movie. So I was glad we went when we did.
We had to walk in Clark's footsteps. Another one that was filmed there, well, not the whole movie, but part of it was Rain Man.
Yes. So Rain Man, they travel across the country. So it's filmed in a lot of different places in America, but they use Caesar's Palace for the parts where they were in Vegas and they stayed there and all that. That one was interesting. And it also, the place where they were like playing cards and all that was virtually unchanged.
But what really had changed was the entrance from the Strip to that people mover that would take you to the casino.
It was so crazy. They used to have these. I really wish they still did. We were totally bummed when we found out this was a thing in the 80s and it no longer exists. So picture this. A lot of these hotels and resorts are like casinos are really far back from the actual Strip sidewalk. So what they would do to try to beckon you in was they would make these little people mover things that would go in. Well, there is one.
Excalibur still has one.
A couple of them still have them. The Venetian has one, the Rialto Bridge thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But anyway, there used to be one that was like ancient Rome, and it was indoors. You went in this rotunda, and it went like over the road, and then it would tell you facts about ancient Rome. It had little scenes and stuff, and it looked so cool. And then the little people mover would slowly take you towards the casino. Of course, notice they were only one way. They'd only take you to the casino. They don't take you out.
You can go in, but you can never leave.
You have to leave by foot. But anyways, they ride in that. The brothers ride in that going into Caesar's Palace. And it's totally gone. And I think they're getting ready to even take out the part where the entrance used to be. You can see where the door was. There was a fountain there. And there's a little rotunda.
It's in bad shape, though.
Oh, it's in bad shape. And it's kind of stinky over there, too.
Yeah, people use it as a public restroom now.
And it's not a bathroom. So go at your own risk. But it's a little stinky. But I just couldn't believe that that was even still there at all. So we found the door. But it's a door to nowhere now.
That's right.
That's the sad thing is when you find these places and there is not a trace. I mean, some of them, most of them you can kind of find a trace. Some of them look exactly the same, which is really exciting. And then sometimes it's just gone. And you're like, I cannot believe this. We've had some disappointments.
Oh, yeah. I think we've mentioned all of our filming locations except for one.
Oh, what did I miss?
We could not leave out the best little whorehouse in Texas.
Oh my gosh, that is such a fun one. We had so much fun with that one. Our daughter was with us for that one. We were going to Austin, and we were like, we are going to go do some filming locations. And usually when we drag her to those things, she's just like, oh. But that one was really fun.
That's right. So if you haven't seen it, it's a musical with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton.
One of our favorites, honestly. One of our favorite 80s movies. One of Keith's favorite, like, early movies. I know, it's embarrassing, but it is. It's a great movie. I promise it's not as bad as it sounds. And the music is fantastic.
It really is. I almost,
Are you embarrassed?
I almost want to bust out in song right now.
You have the record right there. We just bought the soundtrack. I found it in estate sale.
And the craziest thing is we found the location to where the actual chicken ranch was.
Oh, yeah. We went to so there was, obviously they filmed it in one place, but the actual chicken ranch was in a different place. And it's almost completely gone.
I mean, there's a little bit remnants of the building left, but
there
that's
were some
about
remnants. I mean, we found the entrance and we looked at old news stories. And we took our, once again, the drone comes in really handy when we get to places like that are on private property and you can't get to them. We just flew right over that thing. But you know what was my favorite part of that video is when we went to the Capitol.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were going to say the courthouse where we met that nice gentleman that told us all about the town's history. But
oh, that was Hallettsville. I enjoyed that too.
Hallettsville was great, but I forgot about the Capitol. That was really fun.
So we went to the Texas State Capitol.
I danced a little jig in there.
My favorite part about that video was when I made you lay on the floor in the rotunda.
That's right. That's the part after Burt Reynolds punches out Don DeLuise, who plays Melvin P. Thorpe.
Yes.
And he ends up just landing right in the middle of the rotunda on the Texas Star.
That was awesome. So I was like, Keith, you got to do it. You got to do it, man. It was kind of crowded that day. So me and Zoe were like waiting, watching and giving him the signal for when it was clearing out and when there weren't any people there. Then I went up on the upper balcony and filmed from up above, and he laid down on the floor for a couple seconds. It was amazing. We got the shot.
I made a few people nervous.
They were probably like, what is that guy doing? And he also danced a little jig.
That's right, like the governor did.
Danced a little sidestep. I mean, that was a fun day.
It was fun.
A fun video. If you haven't watched that video, we highly recommend it. It's a super fun one.
Well, I would personally recommend them all. So just go watch the whole playlist.
Yes, do that. Just binge.
There you go.
Binge watch those things. They are fun.
That's right.
And like I said earlier at the beginning, I mean, obviously we put a lot of work in all of our videos, but these particular videos, the movie and TV filming location ones, are by far the most effort. Those are some hard videos to make.
That's right. So go show them some love.
Please do. We'd appreciate it. So thanks so much for watching this video. And if you guys have any suggestions of filming locations that you think we should visit, let us know.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye, y'all.